I'm really glad Denny and Leslie are here because I think they're good resource people to talk to us about their preparation for getting married. And you can decide if you think they're prepared. I have great faith in them. Denny has just finished playing a song for us. One of his chief goals in life is to make it in music. And he does have talent, doesn't he? So they're going to tell you now about themselves a little bit. They've got all the questions you wrote out, and we'll see what they say to your questions.
Mom wanted us to put them together, in order and kind of bunch them together so we were all talking about the same thing at the same time. But we don't want to do that. So we're just going to go through them, and a lot of the questions will probably come up again and they'll already be answered. So is that okay if we just read them out loud and then we'll both answer?
Let's see. I wonder if it'd be better. No, that's probably all right.
You want to pick them out of the hat?
No, I was thinking maybe we could, oh, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Okay. Shall you read the first question then?
Yeah. Okay, we'll do a whole page. Okay. How did you meet? You want to tell that?
Oh, well. Let's see. How did we meet?
We met at a dance. Right?
Yeah, but don't just say we met at a
Okay. What else?
Okay, well, there was this conference thing going over on...
Orcas Island.
It wasn't Orcas Island.
Oh, okay. What was it?
Vashon Island.
Okay.
And that our church group goes to, and I usually go sing for them. And
When I was little.
she was just a little girl then. And after I usually have a program for about an hour every year for this conference. Then afterwards there's a dance, and I'd seen her running around because we go to the same church and she's in a different ward, but I see her every once in a while. And so I asked her to dance because I asked her to
You
dance.
didn't have anybody else to dance with.
So there wasn't anybody else to dance with. And so afterwards I just walked her to her little cabin and asked her out.
So that's it.
So that was it.
Have you been going together long enough? We talked about...
Well, it's long enough. We can figure that out.
Yeah. Well, we've known each other over a year, and we haven't gone out that long because I went to school.
But I wrote her also.
Yeah. But we wrote a little bit. But we read over the questions last night, and we were saying, that probably to some people, the amount of time that we went out maybe isn't long enough, but for us, it was. And it's, with every couple it's different. It just takes, enough time until you know that it's right.
If we read each one out of this one and they just go on, we'll never
Okay, do you want me
get
to
too
pick
many
the best
people.
ones?
Maybe we should
Yeah, do you
pass
guys,
them around and then let them read them.
should we do that? That'd be better. And then the best questions looking up are the ones that you guys...
And then you can pick ones on the page that you think are worth it.
Okay? Would
And
you
then we'll
guys
just
ask
go
questions
around.
or would you be embarrassed?
No, and then we'll just go around and ask each person their questions.
Okay, right.
Great. Okay, as soon as somebody has one, we'll start. You don't just pick, just grab one.
Just grab the first one.
Just grab the first one.
Okay, what's a question on there?
You want kids?
You can listen.
Yeah, we want kids. Well, in our church, and I don't like saying our church, but Leslie and I, we believe that to have a full married relationship and everything, that we should have kids and stuff like that. I don't know how many exactly, but we're not going to wait for the kids.
Okay, does somebody else have?
I just keep going on.
Keep going, yeah.
Hmm?
What made you decide you need to get married? We didn't.
Well, I kind of decided first, and I don't know. I just I don't know. We're gonna live in Bellevue. Is that the most interesting question? Okay, we don't claim to be any authorities or anything, so don't take our word for gospel.
In what way is a temple wedding different from a regular wedding?
Well, the one big difference would be like a regular wedding would be for, they say until death do you part, and then a temple wedding, it's for time and all eternity that you're married. So, and we have a lot of ordinances in our religion that we go through that I don't even understand, and that you don't understand until you go through them, and you don't really talk about them after you go through them. So that's why we don't understand them, because they're kind of
Sacred.
yeah. And so it's just a little more religious probably than most weddings.
Do you have
Okay.
anything you want to mention?
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Was there a time when you both felt that the situation was hopeless because of the time involved?
What,
Well-
Mom, did you tell him that we had to rush with the wedding or something?
Oh, I just said that you kept moving the date up on us all.
Figured.
We were wondering what that question was. Well, we decided about a month before we were going to get married that we were going to get married a month later, right? It was just about a month and a half.
Oh, you mean a
Almost.
month after we got married, we decided that we'd get.
After we got married? No.
I mean, after we got engaged, we decided that we'd get married 2 months earlier than we figured.
Yeah, so that made it a month and a half from the time that we moved it up.
And
Right?
then she went to California, and we decided that maybe it would be smarter to stay home and work while I had a pretty good job. I should take advantage of it for a little while and work for a while instead of go to school right off. So we figured we might as well just get married earlier. That's a pretty good excuse. At least it seemed
We were
at the
thinking
time.
about saving rent, but.
Okay.
Okay. Oh,
Okay.
okay,
Oh, but
okay.
Wow.
what are your plans for the future?
Get married.
Well, they're kind of open and they're big, and we have lots to think about, and because we don't know how things are going to go right away. We have a great place to live, and we both have good jobs, and we'll be able to save lots of money.
Well,
So-
our plan for the future would be.
But way in the future, we have great plans. You tell 'em.
Well, I piano or guitar I love to play, but piano is what I do mostly with my singing and stuff. And that's our dream, and there's nothing wrong with dreaming, so we're going to work on my dream at the same time that we live with reality. And I'll probably I'm a carpet layer right now, and in December I could go into the sales part of carpet laying or of the carpet business, and so that's probably what I do for the immediate future, is just to kind of prepare myself for the business world. So, and us, we're gonna have a bunch of kids and live happily ever after. All right.
How are you sure you want to move together for your whole life?
Well, is that the one that says 60 years?
It's a long time.
Oh, that's a different one? Oh, wow. I don't know. I wouldn't have asked her to marry me if I didn't figure that. And she took about 2 weeks to answer me, so I think that she probably thought that over a little bit too. So, I don't know, it's just something that you feel, and something that's built in with the love that you feel, I guess.
I don't think that I guess there's always possibilities, but I don't think we ever even think in terms of it not being forever, you know what I mean? And I guess maybe a lot of couples think that way, but neither of us really even, worry about it or
Consider it.
consider it.
Would you consider changing roles in your marriage if possible? That is, man stay home and the wife work.
For sure.
No.
Well, I don't think so. I don't mind Leslie working or anything like that, but I don't think I'd be too good in the house. Maybe
You
I
helped me
could.
back before last night.
No, I don't think that would work with us.
We're both happy for him.
This says talk about your wedding.
Talk about your wedding?
Well, ours is a little different, like I said before, because it's a Mormon wedding. We get married over in Utah, and then we come back here. We have a little open house for all our friends over there. Then we come back here, and we have a big reception like you would have right after a wedding. It'll be about a week after our wedding. And that's when all the celebration and everything is. It's not at the temple.
Do you plan on having, if you plan on having a family, then how are you going to raise your children? Are you going to raise them like you've been raised?
Good question.
What things will you change?
Danny, could you repeat the question because it's not being picked up?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
We only have one.
Well, third period. She asked me what I would do over, what I would do different than my parents did in raising me. And I think maybe I would, well, I really think a lot of my folks, and I think they did, well, I think they did a good job. And I really have a great love for my parents, and I think I would just try to instill in my kids the love and respect that my folks did with me, and hope that, well, I could think of a few things that I might look out for with my kids that maybe my parents didn't, but what do you say?
Yeah, I think maybe we both had it kind of easy. Maybe we'll spoil our kids too, But you can't spoil them with love, and that's what we hope that we'll give a lot to our kids a lot. So.
What do you think each role of the husband and wife are?
Well,
Well, we're both okay.
we both kind of have. I think if we went and wrote down our roles and stuff on separate pieces of paper, that they would be pretty much the same because of our backgrounds and our similar beliefs. But we really haven't discussed our roles as much as maybe some married couples do, because they're kind of
Taken for granted, maybe.
Yeah, probably. I don't know, maybe we should discuss it. What do you think?
Might be a good idea. I don't know. Okay. Okay.
Do you believe in the wife working?
Do you believe in the wife working?
Well, it's okay now, but I don't want to be dependent upon my wife's salary or anything. I want to be able to I want to have her be able to be home with the family and stuff like that without having to, and that's work enough, without having to worry about earning money. but I don't mind her working now. It's okay.
And I don't mind working now either. You know.
But I wouldn't want her out shoveling coal or anything like that.
Gee, thanks. Okay, who's next?
When did you realize you were in love?
Well, she fell in love with me when she first saw me.
Years ago.
But I didn't realize it until just this year.
Oh, I didn't even realize that I was in love until
Sure.
after I was in love.
You have a little white thing on your mouth.
Denny. Denny told me I was in love, and then I figured it out.
No. No, I think, I kind of, well,
Denny
May-
was more prepared to
Let me
be in
tell
love, right?
I was more prepared to be in love. Well,
That's what I said.
I was kind of, well, when I asked her to marry me, it was kind of a shock to her because she's just a little 19-year-old girl just barely out of high school one year. And it seemed kind of a shock to her, and she didn't even, well, she talked about it, but it didn't sound too, I don't know. I wasn't real encouraging the first night that we talked about it. And then it got, it just kind of went up and down. I don't know, it's hard to tell. And I was laying carpet and working real hard those 2 weeks and trying to, just every night I'd call her up and say, what did I say? Well, what do you say?
Yeah, what do you say?
But she just wouldn't make any commitments. He would say, oh, but Danny, it's our whole lives, or whatever. And so it took her a real long time, and finally she had to go down to California. She got some job at Del Monte's or something. And she told me that, or no, it was for an interview for the job.
Yeah.
She told me that when she came back, she'd probably be able to answer me. But I didn't believe that, so I tried to get it to her before she got on the plane, but it didn't work. But when she came back, I was really disappointed because she didn't say yes right away. And I didn't like to, I asked her to marry me, but I didn't want to beg, and I wanted it to be her decision. But I didn't want to wait for 2 years either because it's driving me nuts. And
so he just about took on another girl.
So finally, because I didn't know of, I thought maybe it was starting to be kind of, I never thought it was a waste of time, but I didn't want to get my heart broke or anything like that. So finally I said, well, Leslie, why don't we forget I ever said it, and we'll go out with other people like we did before I asked her.
Then
And then she started crying.
And then it was just a couple days later, right?
It was that night.
That night?
Yeah.
No, because it was Sunday morning.
It was Sunday, and you told me right before church.
Oh. Yeah, and he was just kind of thrown out. He used to always say, well, how about it, you know?
So
and-
yeah, it was okay.
And I just said, okay. And he went like this again.
Oh, I felt good.
So that's when we realized we were in love, I guess.
Wow, I hope it was before that.
I mean, before then. Okay.
Whatever.
Okay, do you guys have questions? Okay.
What did you do for dates? I mean, because concerning your religion, you can't
Drink and
certain
stuff.
things and do certain stuff.
Well,
Oh, it's boring.
he asked us, he just asked us what we did for dates because in our religion we can't drink and stuff and stuff. But, well, we spent a lot of time, she spent a lot of time on the other side of the piano bench while I sang to her and just probably drove her crazy. Because once I sit down, I just
Can't
have a hard
stop.
time leaving. But we spent time, I don't know, we do a lot of normal things, I guess. Besides
We have
just
lots
drinking
of
and
fun.
stuff.
Yeah, and we're usually by ourselves.
Fast over narrow mountain roads.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's
But,
exciting. We have good
we,
times.
My folks have a boat, and we were up in the San Juans and stuff. And when the holiday was over, I drove up there because I had to work before. And we were driving back, and we just kind of do things as, a lot of times we just kind of do things as we feel. And the traffic was so bad, we'd figured that we'd go around over the mountains and come back through Ellensburg instead. So we went over to Wenatchee, and or we weren't going to Wenatchee. First we were going to go to this little restaurant that I liked a whole lot, but the traffic was so bad we figured that it'd be quicker to go around. And so
It's like a detour about 200 miles, isn't it?
and so whatever. And so we were driving, and Leslie gets upset at me because I drive too fast sometimes, but I didn't think I was driving that fast. And so I said, well, why don't you drive? And so I let her drive, and I went to sleep. And I woke up. We were passing cars going over 90 miles an hour.
That's not true.
That is true. How fast were we going? We were going over 90 miles an hour. One of my hubcaps flew off.
Sure, that's a story. No.
Okay.
But we have lots of fun. I know you guys must think it's a boring life, but it's not. We have
We
good
still
times.
kiss and stuff. It's fun to kiss.
Okay, next question.
Ask Mrs.
Yeah.
Burton.
Oh. Okay.
What did you think about her first letter?
Oh, I
He
thought
didn't
she
like
was.
me at first.
Oh, I thought she was cute, but I thought she was cute. Well, let me sing a song. I wrote the song. I thought she was just such an angel before I met her, and she still is an angel. But she was just so sweet and beautiful and everything. When I was first taking her out, I really liked her a lot, but I didn't. And she seemed just perfect for me then, or just the perfect girl, and that was over a year ago. But I didn't think that I was good enough for her because I don't know, I just didn't think I was. And this is a song I wrote her.
Is this working?
Don't do
You
that.
don't want this?
Excuse me, third period. I can't get this guitar tuned. Oh, you guys too. It's really hard to tune a guitar in front of people, but now something doesn't sound right. I'm going to tune it one more time. Okay, that's a little better. Those beautiful eyes don't deserve the kind of life that I could give. That beautiful smile wouldn't last in the kind of world, the life I live. But I'd do anything for you, my love. Anything just to hear you say you love me like I love you. My life's been hard, though the living's been good. It seems I'm always going wrong. I wish I could start all over again, but I'm really not that strong. And I'd do anything for you, my love. Anything just to hear you say you love me like I love you. And it goes on a little bit more, but that's pretty much what it was. So that's kind of what it. I wrote that song, but I didn't tell her about it till a real long time because we weren't real close. But I always kind of thought that we could be. And I told her that a long time ago. I said, Leslie, maybe things aren't well because I was going with other people. But
Or
I,
the girls.
But I always thought that Leslie would be just right for me. But it took a long time for both. I don't know. You must have common sense. My common sense was there a long time before my love was there. But the love was there a long time before I asked her to marry me. So.
Do you want to, Justin?
It says, why don't you live together?
Why don't we live together?
No, why don't you believe in living together before marrying?
Oh, well, we believe that, all right, let me say it like this. We believe that, I don't know how to say this without, well, we believe that, that sex and stuff like that are sacred and gifts from God. And we don't think that they should be, that you should, we think that stuff like that should, oh, just a second, let me organize my thoughts. I wasn't ready for that one. Well, I wouldn't have minded living with her, but I wouldn't have wanted to have relations and stuff like that, because I think they're sacred and that you should have a commitment for eternity if you're going to be helping with our Heavenly Father in creating people and stuff. And if you're not ready for that commitment, eternal commitment, I wouldn't think that living together would be good, because I don't see how I could live and sleep and stuff like that with her without doing that. And so living together wouldn't work.
Okay.
But
That's good. Okay, next question.
How do you figure you really know one another?
Do we?
well, I think that we have a lot to learn about each other. I think that we just see the tip of the iceberg
Yeah, we're
right now.
starting to get meaner to each other. But maybe it's just because it's before the wedding.
Well, don't say that. We're not meaner. I was always mean.
That's right.
But we know each other well enough. It's hard to say how well you should know. I don't know. I'm still young. I know her better than I've known any other girl, but maybe I still don't know her that well. I'm sure that I'll find out a lot of other stuff. I just hope I like some of it.
Okay.
So,
What types of commitments have you?
what types of commitments? I keep forgetting to do the questions over. Son of a gun. Well, he just asked us what types of commitments have we made to each other. Well, we're going to make it an eternal commitment pretty soon to be with each other forever, for time and all eternity. And we've made commitments with each other to be with each other through thick and thin. And
To support each other, you know, like the big commitment I want to make to Denny is that his music and his future and his music comes first along with our family, you know, and that if there's hard times because he's just starting out, that's something that we both want to go through, because it's something that'll make both of us happy. So, and that's where I want him to be, and I believe in him, and I believe that it can be like that too.
no.
Okay.
Oh, my question's for you.
Okay.
Okay, why don't you wait about 4 or 5 more years to see if you still want to get married? A lot can happen in 5 years. Your values can change, and you may have a different outlook on life.
Well, I.
Rephrase the question there.
Oh, she wants to know why we don't wait 4 or 5 years, because a lot can happen. Our values can change and stuff like that. And, well, a lot could happen, but if we get married, our values I don't think would change that much unless they got worse or something. Because I think our values are pretty high right now. And I think by getting married, we'll grow together, and we'll be united in our thinking a lot more. And so in 4 or 5 more years, we should be
Closer.
a lot
in our
closer,
values.
yeah. because we already believe in the same things, and we have pretty much the same outlook on life. So probably, it may be in 4 or 5 more years, if we didn't see each other for 4 or 5 more years and then we saw each other again, then maybe we would have grown in different ways or something, and it wouldn't work out the same, or it would be a lot harder. But right now we're just kind of like we're just getting started, and we can just kind of grow together to be more one unit.
What did your parents think about you getting married so young?
Well, my folks, my mom cried because she was so happy, because she loved Leslie. And Leslie cried, and Dad hugged her, and he got watery eyes, which is unusual, because they were both so happy. That maybe because they were getting rid of me, because I never clean up my room. But they were really happy because they know that that they knew that I was ready, and that I told Mom before I asked her. Then I told her the morning that I was going to ask her that night, and so she kind of was waiting to find out why, and she wouldn't talk to me about it because I was so uptight because Leslie never told me. And I started saying, "Mom, she hasn't told me yet." And so she was real happy, and everybody was real happy. My little sister was real happy. Everybody in my family loves Leslie. All my relatives, my grandma, everybody.
No.
They
And
do.
my family was really happy too. Mom loves Denny.
It was
But
scary
see,
telling
she's-
her, though, because
I know, we were so scared to come tell my mom because we thought for sure Mom would say, 19, what are you doing? But what did she do? And Denny was so
She
dang
was
nervous. I've
happy.
never seen him like that.
Lindsay, I'm about to get on the microphone because this is good.
Mom, hold my guitar, she'll probably kick it.
oh, I can't wait.
They were home, and I came home, it was probably 5 or 6 or something, and Danny said, "Sit down, June."
Not
And he
exactly.
said, "We're going to get married." I said, "I know. I already told." See,
Oh, yeah, she had already told somebody.
How did you do it, buddy?
She already knew it. So she told somebody that we were getting married. Did you tell them a date and everything? Or did you say, you said...
Didn't have to date though.
Oh. Well, anyway.
We were so nervous though. Danny was. I wasn't really that frightened. But
Do you guys ever fight or get in good fights or anything?
Well, let's see. We argue. What's the main thing? We argue about, like, sometimes I lose my keys and I just get real frustrated and she gets mad at me for getting frustrated. And sometimes I lose my wallet and I get frustrated and she gets mad at me. That's what we argue about.
bicker a lot.
Oh, no, I don't think so. It's just, all right, this is our biggest fight right here. I lose my keys, or Mom loses one of my keys, and I go, "Dang it, Mom," or I even swear.
Yeah.
And I don't say it in front of Mom, but Leslie gets upset at me for not respecting my mom, and I get upset at her because I love my mom and I do respect her. Maybe I got mad just real quick, but it makes me mad to think that she doesn't think I love and respect my mom. And that's what we fight about.
That was our biggest fight so far.
But I've never hit her real hard.
Do you ever get tired of seeing each other?
Well, we see each other every waking hour that I'm not working. We see each other all the time, and
Probably more than we will when we're married.
and I don't get to sleep on time, and my folks give me a bad time about that. And June's always trying to kick us out of the house. She goes, "Well, Denny, I think it's about time for you to go. You have to get up real early in the morning, and Leslie, you should let him go. You don't have to get up." She always says, "You don't have to get up, so you don't understand how hard it is for Denny. He's getting anemic." And, which is probably true. And so,
Well.
anyway,
Can you play another song for us?
Yeah.
what do you want to
We
play?
have about 3 minutes, so finish with the song.
Okay,
Okay.
what should I play?
Play the one about your
The one that
family.
you both sing.
Oh, I don't sing.
Okay, well, I'll play this one about my family. anymore, but I'm still counting my whiskers, and aside from under my nose, there's quite a few. There's a place I call my home, 6 brothers and sisters, and a mom and dad to supervise the crew. It's knowing that I'm not alone, though 1,000 miles away, that gives me the right to take you all aside and say, I love you, and it hurts to think of the times I made you cry. I need you and I just don't see how I could ever say goodbye. Well, I may not be a boy anymore, but I still like to stand on my head, and I still can eat Rice Krispies by the box. I'm old enough to make my own life, but I can't seem to make my own bed, and you'd be lucky to catch me in a matching pair of socks. I know that soon I'll have to face the fact that I'm a man, but I just can't seem to leave my boyhood dreams behind. As far as making do alone, I'll do the best I can. I just hope the world is ready for my kind. Well, I may not be a boy anymore, but I'm still counting my whiskers, and aside from under my nose, there's quite a few. There's a place I call my home, 6 brothers and sisters, and a mom and dad to supervise the crew. And I love you, it hurts to think of the times I made you cry. I need you and I just don't see how I could ever say goodbye.
Mr. and Mrs. Hancock and daughter Rachael, who is just about 18 months old. Leslie and Denny are my very favorite newlyweds, and I want you to get to know them a little bit better. Different students tell me that when we read things, when your teacher says things, when we watch film strips, that there's a lot of negative sounds being said about marriage. Well, I just really want to take this opportunity to say loud and clear that I think the prospects of marriage are very good for some people I know well, and I think for a lot of young people. And I'm going to let Leslie and Denny tell you about themselves and their married life. When I met Denny, well, about 4 years ago, you've been married 3 now, about 4 years ago, I thought he was pretty neat, and I knew Leslie did too. So I was just ever happy to see him come to the house and get to know him better. Denny came to the house a lot and dated right around the house. They didn't go off somewhere. They were oftentimes just in the living room talking, doing music together, studying, and so forth. Denny, you know, your mother-in-law just really was intrigued with your musical ability, probably because she was so non-musical. And I got to know you through your songs. One of the things I liked about Denny a lot was that I realized he had these strong family values. And I'm going to ask Denny to sing, first of all, his song about his family, because that's when I fell in love with him and then had to persuade Leslie that she should marry him. Isn't that the way it went, Leslie?
Well, I'll give it a go.
He's got a cold like everybody else.
Okay. I may not be a boy anymore. I wrote this when I was at college, and I was a little bit homesick, and it's not, well, never mind. I may not be a boy anymore, but I'm still counting my whiskers, and aside from from under my nose. There's quite a few. And there's a place I call my home. 6 brothers and sisters and a mom and dad supervise a crew. It's knowing that I'm not alone, though 1,000 miles away, that gives me the right to take you all aside and say, I love you. It hurts to think of the times I made you cry. I need you and I just can't see how I could ever say goodbye. Well, I may not be a boy anymore, but I still like to stand on my head, and I still can eat Rice Krispies by the box. I'm old enough to make my own life, but I can't seem to make my own bed, and you'd be lucky to catch me in a matching pair of socks. I know that soon I'll have to face the fact that I'm a man, but I just can't seem to let my boyhood dreams behind. As far as making do alone, I'll do the best I can. I just hope the world is ready for my kind. Well, I may not be a boy anymore, but I'm still counting my whiskers, and aside from under my nose, there's quite a few. And there's a place I call my home, with 6 brothers and sisters and a mom and dad to supervise the crew. And I love you. It hurts to think of the times I've made you cry. I need you and I just don't see how I could ever say goodbye.
Thank you. I think I never ever get tired of that song, do I? I always ask what.
She's my greatest fan.
Well, Leslie, when you were dating Danny, well, I know you thought he was pretty neat. What were some of the neat things you recognized in Danny that put him special about the other guys you dated?
Let me think. That was a long time ago.
Just can't think of any neat things.
No, he was fun to be with, because, well, I loved his family, and he used to do so many things with his family and enjoyed being with his family and with his brothers and sisters, and he was the kind of person that was just really fun to be with, and the family did a lot together, and we did a lot together, and you know, his family would invite me on boat trips, and we'd just do lots of things, and he has a really good sense of humor, and he used to always cheer me up, and he was exciting. That's probably mostly it.
I used to be excited.
Yeah.
And when I seen him around the house, I would think too, life is going to be fun, because Danny would do crazy things like bringing over his skateboard and skating down the hill and in front of the
Regular guy.
driveway. I've seen him just goof around, playing piggyback in the backyard and crazy things, and I think that's part of enjoying life. You don't need to make a million and be sophisticated to be happy. Why did you think Leslie was kind of special?
Well, of course, first off, I thought she was really pretty.
Gee, does that matter,
And,
huh?
yeah, it helps getting started. And later on, I found out she was really super honest and sincere in her feelings for whatever. She was really honest, and she was really humble, and she was really thoughtful, even before we were two. deeply involved with each other. She used to do nice things for me and just kind of she was always a really good friend. So she's just and she was always been, I've always known or seen a special spirit in her.
Well, you two are pretty devout about your religion. How did that affect your dating experiences and your, as you see your special relationships?
It's hard to say how it affected our dating. And of course, there's the obvious things. We studied scriptures a lot, and that kept us out of trouble.
Oh, I can remember that. Leslie had been going steadily with someone, but I could see she was falling more and more in love with Denny, and she was helping him with the scriptures. One night she said, "Mother, where's the flashlight?" I said, "What's the flashlight for?" Denny was there in the living room. She said, "Oh, we're going to go out car riding and read the scriptures together."
That may sound really corny, but we were trying to memorize these a few things in the Doctrine and Covenants. You don't know what that is, but yeah. But anyway.
Okay. You know, they have this feeling, they told me that they feel they've been married just forever, and so it's hard for them to think back to way back when they were dating, but when you're older, things seem different, and to me it just seems a little while ago. Well, Dan, then let's have some more songs from you. You wrote one for Leslie, I think.
Yeah.
Can you remember that one?
Yes, I can. I wrote this after I'd only known her for about a month, and when I write music, it's kind of a spur of the moment type thing, and this is a little heavy for a month. And I didn't tell her it was hers for a long, long time. Those beautiful eyes don't deserve the kind of life that I could give. That beautiful smile wouldn't last in the kind of world, the life I live. But I'd do anything for you, my love, anything just to hear you say you love me like I love you. My life's been hard, though the living's been good. It seems I'm always going wrong. I wish I could start all over again, but I'm really not that strong. And I'd give everything for you, my love, everything just to hear you say you love me like I love you. Won't you love me like I love you? I wish I could find a way to make you a part of my life. You, I wish I could see the day when you would be my wife.
That is kind of a very special song. You both had dated considerably before you decided that you were very special for one another. And do you feel that having that dating experience helps you make a good
Well, I
first
think it's
decision?
good because when we went out the first summer, I thought I was pretty busy taking out as many girls as I could for my ego problems, and so I felt like, and Leslie was really special to me, but I felt like maybe I didn't give her as much time as she deserved, or you know what I mean. And then when she came back from college, she's really hooked on some other guy, and that just really that made me leave every other idea behind, and I just concentrated on. She wouldn't let me take her out, so we just kind of drove around, and if we happened to drop by a movie, it was just by chance. She would never let me take her out because she was promised to some other guy. So finally, I just asked her to marry me, so she knew I was for real.
Well, that's why you hung around the house so much. She wouldn't let you take her very far away.
Right, she wouldn't let me take her out.
I see. Well, that was just all right, too. And then, when you really... Now, that's not the song you wrote when you proposed, was it?
No, I'd
Can't
have
remember
to
that one
think
yet.
about that one. That's on the
That one.
piano, and that's...
So then you decided to get married, and they were, first of all, they decided they were going to get married, and they were both going to go to college for a year and get married at the end of the summer, but they'd be engaged for that year. And I thought, well, that's fine, because it sure would be nice for Leslie to finish the second year of college. Then they decided, well, they just really couldn't wait that long. They'd have to get married at Christmas. Then I think it was the end of October. Then they come to me again and say, you know, we really want to get married at the end of September. This is already, I think, in June or something. I said, hold it. And that you can maybe just manage, but you cannot move this date up anymore. So then they got married and had this very lovely wedding. They tell us where you were married and about your receptions. Leslie, why don't you do that?
Okay. We were married in the Salt Lake Temple in Salt Lake City, Utah. And there's not a reception inside the temple. And so we had a reception at Denny's grandparents' home in Salt Lake for his side of the family that lived there and couldn't travel up here. We had lots of people and a real good time, and all my college friends from BYU came. And then a week later, we drove back and spent just a few days kind of taking it easy, and then we were home and working. And a week later, we had a second reception here at the yacht club that Denny's parents belonged to, and that was for all the people that were around here that could come. And so there were lots of people there, so we had 2 cakes and 2 punch bowls, and we went through the whole thing twice, dressing up and the bridesmaids and everything. But that way everybody got to, to be there. But it was pretty neat.
Leslie, you planned on going to college. You just promised your mother you'd graduate from college, go to college 4 years, and then you didn't. Do you have any regrets about that?
No, not really.
I think she does sometimes.
Sometimes.
She just finished with a real estate class, and she always, I'm sure if she had more time, she'd...
Sometimes I miss it, but that's just when I'm depressed.
What, you have finished at BCC, your course?
Yeah.
Oh,
She
she's
got
finished.
A, too.
She got an A. Oh, good. That's kind. Well, you can continue going to BCC, and community colleges, they're so close. Well, you got married, and before you knew it, you're pregnant.
Right.
Was that? Were you glad about that?
Yes, we were. We were planning. We planned it that way. Denny wanted a baby immediately. He couldn't even wait hardly 9 months. But she came. Full glory.
When you realized Leslie was pregnant, you wrote a song about that, didn't you, Dan?
Yeah.
Mom knows all
and
the
I haven't.
songs.
I couldn't remember the song at all. I remember you reminded me, and I remembered it all of a sudden when I woke up this morning.
Did you?
But the chords, I hope I remember those too.
These are awful.
Okay. You want to sing this with me?
I don't even remember the words. I don't remember the words.
Okay. Pretty soon this family's gonna change a little. Okay, take 2. Pretty soon this family's gonna change a little. I know a little child will come and make it all complete. two little feet. I don't know about you, but to Leslie and I, we couldn't ask for more. And when I see that child in its mother's embrace, to hear that cry, touch that face, well, little bit of heaven, that's my little bit of heaven. Hey, pretty soon this family's gonna grow a little. I know a little child will come and bring to us its joy. A girl or a boy, a girl or a boy. I don't know about you, but to Leslie and I, we couldn't ask for more. And when I see those eyes looking up at me, I'll thank the Lord, but this must be a little bit of heaven. That's our little bit of heaven. Remembered it.
I'm glad you remembered it. You do have that recorded, I hope.
No, I should record that.
My goodness. Well, when you got married, of course you had saved $10,000 and you moved into your brand new bungalow and lived happily ever after. Is that correct?
Almost, except for the bungalow and the $10,000.
I've been telling everybody they should have,
Let her run free.
lots of thousands of dollars saved to get when they get married.
Would have
Did
been,
you-
would have been nice.
It would have been nice. Well, how
Yeah.
did you manage?
Well, you know, one thing about, I've never been a super responsible guy. And one thing about getting married and really caring about making something like that work, it really can turn you into a hard worker fast.
Oh, you mean
Because-
she really makes you work?
Well, the situation makes it convenient to work. So
And I know you have.
you'd be surprised what you can do when you have to do it. Because I was never that hard of a worker, and now it's no big deal to have to work all night sometimes.
Oh, I am very happy with my son-in-laws. I'm sure you can guess. I always felt he would be a hard worker and be very responsible. Probably had greater faith in him than he did.
Than my mom.
But they worked things out in terms of our unit and money management. Because they didn't have their down payment for their bungalow right away, they found the ideal place to stay. It was just a lovely, lovely little suite. Now, how did you go about getting that anyway?
We knew this guy that was moving into that real nice house on the water, and he had a little place above the garage to stay, and they wanted somebody to do the gardening, and I found that out, so I went and told him I'd do the gardening, and Leslie would do the housework for the little bungalow. And that's a good idea, except for you put in a lot more hours than a $300 per month rent would be, so I'd much rather. It's a good way to get started because you didn't have to put any money out. But as soon as you can get away from it, it's good to get away from it.
But I was proud of them there. When they first interviewed, the family said, oh, we really don't think we want a couple quite so young. They also wanted the couple to kind of look after their kids. And they both teenage kids sold themselves, just really persuaded the couple that they could take responsibility, just the way you sell yourself when you apply for a job. So I was proud of them doing that and managing so well. What was one of your first purchases?
What was our first purchase?
The piano.
Piano, probably. That was our first major one.
Denny,
that.
what is your big lifetime goal? If all your dreams came true, what would it be, Denny?
My big lifetime goal would be.
Have a gold record.
I don't like to say it because
Oh.
it sounds so foolish.
Fine.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to just be able to make a living with music. And
Composing mostly.
this isn't a very good example to just come sit and play a couple things on the guitar. but I'd like to be able to make it with music
And does your wife support you in that goal?
as much as she can. It's hard with the piano right in the living room to keep the washer off and the heat turned down so the so the furnace doesn't come on in the middle of a song. But she's pretty good about it.
That's great. And you do have some nice recording equipment on, don't you?
Wow, nice for me.
That's great. Well, certainly being a songwriter would be a lot more exciting than laying carpets as you do
Yeah,
part-time for these extra things for your family.
yeah, that's true.
And we'll just hope that that can be sometime. When you were pregnant, Leslie, you and Denny took childbirth education classes together, and that's what we're going to be learning about in class next week. How was it you decided to take those classes with Denny, and what did he think about the whole thing?
A few couples that we knew and were friends with and did things with had their first child or were in the process of going to these classes, and all of them had really positive feelings about the classes and the results and how they'd helped them. The one couple who'd already had a child, just really encouraged us to go, and so we began going, and once we got involved we realized how valuable they were. We took the Lamaze classes, and they are held everywhere. They're just through the Childbirth Education Association, and you can take them here in Renton or Bellevue or wherever. And they are held for, I think, 12 weeks with your first pregnancy. And we went together, and you work together with your husband, and they teach you breathing. They talk to you all about babies and show you all kinds of film strips of births, and I'll tell you all the kinds of things about taking care of your health and everything, and then they really get into the labor thing, and that's when it gets exciting and kind of scary, and they talk about everything that's going to happen and how to cope with it as it as various stages occur, and it's really valuable, and it worked great for us.
It's good for the man too, because I was really comfortable. By the time it came to have the baby, I was really comfortable, and I felt good about being right there.
It's just so great to have your husband there, and now it's kind of a natural thing for a husband to be there, but 10 years ago it was very unnatural to have a husband there at all. It was very rare. And now hospitals and doctors and nurses are much more willing to go natural, even though they're the most conservative usually. They've been raised with the books and with the anesthetics and everything, and so you have to okay everything with doctors first. Make sure they'll go for it.
Are you taking classes again now that you're pregnant again?
With a second one, they just have refresher courses for 3 weeks or 4 weeks, and they just kind of go over.
Did Denny go too?
Yeah. But we haven't started. Little girl.
I guess that's the reason you can't stay on this morning. You have to go and see the doctor. Don't you? Right. You're supposed to have checkups every month.
Right.
Yes. And I hope you do that. Well, we have about 4 minutes remaining. Would anyone like to ask Denny or Leslie a question that they're pretty comfortable about talking about themselves and the wonderful world of being married? But if not, I might just ask Dan to sing some of his favorite songs for you, because I know that's...
I'd rather they came up with some pretty good questions. I can't sing very well.
It's hard early in the morning.
Somebody must have a question.
Can you two sing together, or did you do it on the guitar? You light up my life. I know you're both working on it.
We did that quite a while ago.
Yeah,
You did that really well. She sings really pretty, but it's hard to get her to sing.
I know. That is such a nice one to
Why don't
finish
you
with.
take over for the
Yeah.
last 4 minutes, Rachel?
Rachel, do you want to sing?
Yeah.
Okay, sing. Okay. Shall we show them the things that she can do?
Well, sure.
Or say the thing? All right.
Okay.
All right, Rachel, we're gonna
Let's point to some of the
no,
things.
let's
And
just
she'll
have
say
her
it
say.
out. Okay.
Can you say bye bye? No, wait, we'll say that for him. Can you say hi?
Say hi.
No, say hi.
Say hi to Grandma.
Okay. Can you say uh-oh? Say it really loud. Say uh-oh. Okay. Can you say, where's your nose?
Yeah. Okay, where's
No,
your
where's mommy's nose?
mouth? Yeah, she knew I was gonna say where her mouth
Okay.
was. Where's your
Where-
eyes? No, I don't want
Uh,
to show my eyes. She knows she's on stage.
Okay.
She likes to perform.
Can you click your fingers?
No, I'm embarrassed. How about, what's this, Rachel? Yeah. She thinks this is a dog, so. So that's good enough. What about, can you say kitty?
Can you say,
Kitty? That's good enough.
Isn't it nice
Right.
parents who
Right.
change all the questions?
And who are you, Rachel? Are you? No. She is, you're baby.
Yeah.
And who am I? Right. Right.
and Rachel,
She never says
can you
that.
tell me who I am? She calls me Mama.
She calls Denny Mama all the
Okay, now say bye bye. No, say it good. Say bye bye.
She started saying bye-bye now. It says bye.
Well, Mother and Father, you've had her now a year and a half. How do you evaluate the joys and sorrows of having children?
Once you get over changing the diapers, it's pretty neat.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they're pretty fun. You have to want to.
It'd be hard to convince somebody that at 3 in the morning when they get up to find out why she's crying.
Right. She was up twice last night. Or
I
this,
think she was too hot.
Yeah.
But
I came in. She was going, and she was lost underneath her covers.
yeah, she got tangled.
Just
in the blanket.
boiling.
Wow.
Couldn't find her way. So they're fun. Wild.
So you're looking forward to having several children, I understand.
Yeah.
Baby. Give it a... Oh.
Uh-oh.
What is it? Denny wants 7 and you want 5 and you have to work out a compromise? Is that it?
And I love you. It hurts to think of the times I made you cry. I need you and I just don't see how I could ever say goodbye.